Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this episode, I'll be changing the power steering fluid of the XK8. I will provide a quick overview of the power assisted steering system. I'll describe 3 different methods for changing the power steering fluid, and then I'll proceed by following one of these 3 methods. From the factory service manual, we can see that the required power steering fluid is Dextron 3. The power steering system itself holds 1 liter of fluid, and the reservoir holds another 400 milliliters for a combined total of 1.4 liters in terms of total system capacity. The power steering fluid is sold usually in 1 liter bottles, which means you will need to buy at least 2 bottles for this process. The black container with the cap, which we see here, is the power steering reservoir. There are 2 hoses connected to the reservoir. The right hose carries fluid from the reservoir to the power steering pump. From the pump, the fluid is pushed into the steering gear, commonly known as the steering rack. As the fluid works through the steering gear, it heats up. It is then extracted and moved to the cooler, located just behind the front bumper, and from the cooler, the fluid follows a return hose back into the power steering reservoir, thus completing the cycle. Please note the explicit warning about absolute cleanliness must be observed when replenishing the fluid or dismantling any part of the system. This is extremely important, and you should take it into account when deciding which of the 3 methods is best for you. The first method for changing the fluid is to drain it out of the system completely and then refill with fresh fluid. This is in essence very similar to what we do when we change the engine oil. However, draining the fluid out of the system is not straightforward because it involves disconnecting hoses at the bottom of the vehicle, which connect to the steering gear assembly. The car has to be securely lifted in the air so that you can gain access, and there's some risk involved, especially when it comes to reattaching the hoses in a way that prevents any future leaks. In addition, air would be trapped within the system, further complicating the completion of the process. I would not recommend this method, but if you are switching your current fluid to the Pentosin fluid, which I covered in my in-depth video on power steering fluid options, I'll provide a link in the description to that, then you would want to follow this method because the Pentosin fluid cannot be mixed with any other fluid, meaning you need to empty the system completely before you can pour the Pentosin fluid in it. The second method is described in the factory service manual. In a way, it is very similar to changing the brake fluid because we have the new fluid enter the system at the reservoir and gradually push the old fluid out. The method requires you to disconnect the return hose, which carries the old fluid from the cooler back into the reservoir. The hole on the reservoir end needs to be capped, while the disconnected hose needs to be extended into a waste container where you would be collecting the returning old fluid. So instead of the old fluid re-entering the system by getting back into the reservoir, it will be discharged into the disposal container. Please note the heavy warnings and cautions in the factory service manual about being prepared to collect escaping fluids. This method is messy, and there is an underlying expectation that fluids will be dripping and leaking out. You have to account for that. The third method is by far the easiest to pursue, and this is what I'll be using in order to change the power steering fluid on my vehicle. You need 3 liters of fluid for this method, not 2. So you would be buying 1 extra bottle compared to the previously discussed methods. The only tools required to complete this process are a syringe with a short hose or a similar tool, in essence allowing you to extract the fluid from the reservoir, as well as a disposal container into which you would collect the old fluid. Now, clearly, there is a downside to this method. While the first two methods achieve a power steering system with 100% fresh, non-contaminated fluid, the third method cannot achieve this result, meaning the fluid in the system would not reach a state where it is 100% contamination free. Let me try to illustrate this with a short table. So we know that the total system capacity is 1.4 liters and the reservoir holds 400 milliliters out of those 1.4 liters. This should allow me to pull out approximately 350 milliliters of fluid directly from the reservoir. These 350 milliliters represent exactly a quarter, or 25% of the total 1.4 liter system volume. So if we take the worst case scenario and we assume that we are starting with 100% contaminated fluid, basically what we have in the system is completely shot, it has no more life left, it is garbage. Once we remove a quarter of that fluid and we replace it with brand new fluid, the contamination level is going to drop from 100% down to 75% after the first cycle is done. This 75% contamination level is then the starting point of our second cycle. When we refresh that 75% contaminated fluid, the resulting contamination at the end of cycle 2 is going to drop further down to 56%. We can keep going and doing this at least 8 times because that's how much fluid we have, about 3 liters. At the end of the 8th cycle, we're going to be down to 10% contamination remaining. In other words, with minimal effort, we have achieved a 90% reduction in the contamination level of the fluid, which in my mind is equivalent to basically having brand new fluid in there. This is very similar to the process of changing the gearbox fluid, because when we do the gearbox service, we're not draining all of the fluid out. In fact, about half of it remains held in the torque converter. Thus, the gearbox fluid never really reaches a state of being 100% fresh. Of course, an added benefit of this method is that it is absolutely universal and it could be applied to any vehicle, not just your XK8. The one thing that I haven't discussed yet is what happens between the cycles. The goal is to circulate the fluid throughout the system. You could either start your engine and turn the wheel all the way to the left and all the way to the right at least 3 times in each direction. Once you've done that sufficiently, you proceed to the next cycle and drain out another 350 milliliters of fluid. What I prefer to do is perform a cycle, then take the car for a drive for the day. Just go about my regular business. When I come back home, I would change the fluid again, which is essentially the next cycle. I would continue doing this at least 8 times or until all 3 liters of fluid run out. The whole process could take more than a week, but that's totally fine. Now, let's start with cycle number 1. I would like to provide a quick tip here when it comes to withdrawing the fluid. So, due to the internal construction of the reservoir, there are a few challenges or difficulties in the way. First of all, if you go through the middle, right here through the middle, you'll be able to extract very little fluid because there is a plate there which prevents the hose from getting any further. When you go to the side, Again, you'll be able to extract a bit more, but still not enough. What you need to do is make sure that you slide the hose in between this silverish grayish plate and the side of the container and push the hose down. Only then it would reach the true bottom of the reservoir, and you'll be able to pull out all of the fluid that is contained in the reservoir. Let me try to reposition the hose here. There is a slight gap between that plate and the wall of the reservoir, and the hose can slide in. I hope you can see it here. So this is the way to reach the bottom and extract the full amount that is held in the reservoir, which is what you want to do. You want to get as much fluid out as possible from here. Now we can refill with Liquimoly TopTech 1200. One thing I really like about Liquimoly is that they provide this built-in straw. Makes it easier to pour. Let's just see the best angle here. There we go. I think this is good. All right. So we're going to do this 8 times over a span of maybe a week, maybe 10 days. Depends on how many times per day you drive. As we discussed in the table, at the end of the process, you have 90% pure clean liquid in the system and only 10% old contaminated fluid. Here we are a couple of weeks later. I have performed 8 cycles and I have numbered the bottles here 1 to 8. You may notice at a first glance that the bottles on the left are much darker, whereas the fluid on the right becomes a bit more reddish, which is a good sign and what we expect. But before we get into examining the results more closely, I just wanted to mention I have 8 bottles for a total fluid volume of 2 liters. Those 2 bottles are empty, they're done, and this bottle is brand new. I have not even opened it. So what I think is happening is the following. The capacity of the reservoir is probably indeed 400 milliliters as indicated in the factory service manual. However, we don't fill that reservoir all the way to the top. We fill it to the level indicated by the cap and the measuring stick. So when I do that, it appears that I am adding about 250 milliliters into the reservoir rather than 350, which I was expecting to be adding. And this is why each draw was smaller. It was not 350, but more like 250. And this is why I've only used up 2 liters so far instead of the 3. But that's not a problem. I can continue doing this cycle and use up the very last bottle as well. Let's take a closer look at the results. For that, I'm going to light up the bottles. There we go. And you can see how the fluid started off as very dark brownish and gradually transitioned towards cleaner, brighter red into the 8th cycle on the right. We can take a closer look at the first and the second cycle, for example. That's 1, that's 2. You can probably see how cycle 2 is a bit cleaner, even though without the lights, they both look just outright dark. But when we light them up, you could see the difference. A bit darker and a bit lighter. And if we compare the first cycle with the last, with number 8, And look at this difference. In fact, if we look from the top, the light almost cannot penetrate through this fluid and reach the surface on top, whereas here you can see how this is just much cleaner. In conclusion, with minimal effort in terms of time commitment and complexity, all you need is an empty container and the syringe to draw out the fluid. You can achieve near perfect results when it comes to the condition of your power steering fluid and keep your power steering system in tip-top shape for years to come. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for joining me again, folks. Best of luck in your upcoming projects, and I'll see you again in the next video. Take care.